What's up guys, Josh here from Mixing Mango. In this video I want to talk a bit about the Order of Ascension update and sort of a 1 day feedback kind of video. So I haven't actually accessed the dungeon, I haven't been able to take part in it at all because I don't have 81 Slayer, but I've read a lot of stuff on the forums, I've seen live streams on it, so I know quite a lot about it. So I just thought I'd give my opinions on it, talk a little bit about it. So first thing, people complain about the methods of getting the crossbow, and to be quite honest, I actually like it. So it is challenging, and so if you don't know, you need to get the keys from the minions that require 81 Slayer, and then you have to use these keys to enter a boss room. There are 6 boss rooms, so there's 6 bosses to fight, and each boss drops a different part of the crossbow. And so once you get all 6 pieces, the pieces are untradeable, so you can't just buy them, but the keys are tradable, so you could just buy a load of those and then go kill the bosses. Once you get all these 6 crossbow pieces, you then attach it to a dragon crossbow, and this creates the new Ascension crossbow. So like I said, I actually quite like this method. It is fairly difficult, it will take a long time, and there's not actually that many crossbows in the game. It is a day on from the update and there's very few, I would say. I think the price at the moment is about 400 mil for a crossbow, so that is still a lot. I mean, if you remember back to Drygores, I remember James, he put a Drygore drop in the GE for 1 GP and it insta sold for 40 mil. 40 mil for level 90 weapons on the first day. That is shocking. Next sets on the first day were billions, and then the new best weapons of the game were 40 mil. I mean, they stabilized, well, didn't stabilize, but they were about 100 mil in release or something, and kind of just dropped from there. So it is good that these new crossbows actually have a value. 400 mil would probably drop a bit more as more come into the game, but if they stay above 200 mil, I'd be happy with that. I mean, that is a good price. If anything, I'd wish they'd be a bit more, but I think the methods, and it's weird that they're actually that low considering the method you have to go through, but I really do like this method. People complain about it because it's so long, but the thing is, it helps keep the price up, and it also gives a use for TDs, because now you need this dragon crossbow, so you have to actually go to TDs, get the dragon crossbow, and so it will make TDs a bit more profitable, and also makes a dragon crossbow a bit better, I guess. I mean, people have said that it should be a chaotic crossbow that you need, and I would say that if they were to change it, it should be you can either use a dragon or a chaotic crossbow to upgrade, purely because you shouldn't really force people to dungeoneer just to get the new level 90 weaponry. I mean, if they have the chaotic crossbows, then they can upgrade it if they want it, but you shouldn't force people to do it if they don't, because it should be buyable. You should just be able to use a dragon crossbow. It would kind of make more sense if it was an armadillo crossbow, because going from level 60 to 90 doesn't quite make sense, and that's why the level the 80 to 90 does sort of suit it better. But I mean, an armadillo crossbow is level 70, I want to say, so I mean, even 70 to 90 is a bit better. I'm not sure why they chose dragon, but again, TDs are a bit more profitable, so that's always good. So back to the method. It's hard, like I said, it will take a long time, but it is a bit more fun, and it just means that not everyone is going to do it. You have to actually get the crossbow from scratch, essentially, because you have to get all 6 pieces, which are untradeable, and so it will keep the price up. I think what Jagged should look at doing, and I think what they are kind of looking at, is not changing this dungeon at all. I mean, maybe make the keys a bit more common, I don't know, I'm not really sure about those drop rates, and I think maybe look at making just the non crossbow parts a bit more expensive, the drops, because I think the bosses drop 2k worth of loot. I mean, they are Slayer bosses, so it should be 100k a drop or something like that. It should actually be good money, but I think just leave the dungeon how it is, pretty much. I think what they really do need to look at is KK, and I have seen some mods posting on the forums and said that is what they are looking at, and they don't think it is the crossbow's end that is wrong, it's KK that needs fixing, and I 100% agree with that. like, to be quite honest, I wouldn't even mind if they changed the rec so I couldn't do KK, because the thing is, at the moment, there are no KK recs, and that is why Drygores are so bad. You just need a team of people with a Staff of Light to kill what is supposed to be the hardest boss in the game that drops level 90 weapons. Like, that is pretty shocking. I mean, next sets are more valuable than Drygores, and next sets have been out 3 years, and Drygores have been out like 3 months. So really, it doesn't make sense. And the reason why next sets are so expensive still is because it has a requirement, and it's like it's like a mid-level requirement, so it's not too bad, but it also is like a very hard boss, and KK just isn't hard enough really, and just anyone can go there, which is the main problem. And like I said, I mean, even if I couldn't go to KK anymore, like they made the requirement that high, I actually wouldn't matter, because that is how it should be. It is the top tier weaponry, and so like the only thing they can do is add a really high requirement. Like, I guess a Slayer level would kind of make sense, or even the next requirements would stop quite a lot of people going. But I think maybe, so yeah, Slayer would make sense. Maybe just put on like 80 Slayer or something, or just like a combat requirement, so you got to have like 90 stats, because it is the hardest boss in the game. It drops level 90 weaponry, so it kind of makes sense to have the 90 stats. And so I think it definitely does need a requirement there, because there's just too many Drygores coming into the game, and like it is way too easy for anyone to go there, and that is why that's why Drygores are so cheap. And it's definitely not that the range weapons have a bad method to getting them. It is definitely just that Drygores are way too easy to get, and KK is way too easy to kill. I have seen some suggestions to change how to get to KK, which is definitely another method of making it a bit harder and making Drygores a bit more rare. I think it's kind of hard to change that at the moment, or you can't really change that now. I mean, people suggested you have to go through the exiled Kalphite Queen, and then when you kill her, it will open up a tunnel to the Kalphite King. I mean, something like that is nice if they did that on release, but I think now it is probably just they should put a requirement on KK and really just let higher level players do it, because it is designed for high level players. And I think pretty much you kind of need Drygores to do it, but I think the minimum should be Chaotix really to KK. I mean, obviously you can do it lower, but I think effectively you definitely need Chaotix or above, and basically near max stats with Turmoil, and obviously Overloads would help quite a lot. That is probably how it should be, but that is just not what it's like at the moment. And so if you look at Nex, you can't, if you want a duo, I actually can't duo at the moment. That's how hard it is now, and I'm essentially max combat. The only thing I don't have is Torva, and that is probably what I need to duo. And so that is kind of the level it should be at. I mean, Kalphite King's designed for a lot of people, so you can't properly compare it, but it shouldn't be that you don't need Chaotix to go. You should definitely need Chaotix or better to do KK. And because I mean, next trios are actually really easy, but then next duos are extremely hard. So I think they've got a pretty good balance there. And in a trio, the people we trio with are pretty much we're all pretty much max combat, so that kind of makes sense that it's easy. And so they definitely need to possibly buff the hardness of KK, but also definitely just put a requirement on there, just so there's less Drygore drops in the game and not everyone can go there, because obviously it is the best weaponry, and there is definitely nothing wrong with how the Ascension crossbow is made. It's just the melee weapons, Drygores, are way too common. So that's just my opinions on it. I really do hope they put a requirement. I doubt they will, but it would definitely make sense. And I hope that just whoever drops the mage weapons, even if there's no requirement, it has to be a really hard boss. That's the main thing. It shouldn't be that there's so many drops in the game. I mean, maybe this will actually be you need a 5-man to do it, and a 5-man of max players. Not that KK now, you can use a 5-man to fight anyone really. So that is just my opinions on it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.